Purpose of this Instagram Live is to talk about the study abroad opportunities at the University of Wisconsin-Madison athletic department. This is something that's pretty unique to our department and is an experience that I think everyone should do as their time as a student athlete. I went on the study abroad trip about 2 summers ago, so my sophomore year. I'm a senior on the swim team, if you didn't know. And it was in Paris, France, and it was about a month long, and it was with other student athletes, and it was a really good time. I'm joined with Allie Courtney, also on the women's swim and dive team, and she's our guest panelist and expert, and she will help me discuss what the trip entails, what the study abroad was, and just the experience overall. Um, so we will first start with some questions for our guest panelist. So my first question for Allie Courtney is kind of describe the overall study abroad experience. So what was it like, the application process and programs that are offered?
Yeah, so the application process was pretty easy. Basically, you had to apply through the study abroad website. It's like that all students apply on. And there were a couple essay questions about like 250 words each, maybe like 3 questions. And yeah, and then they probably got back to me around March. So we left in May and we heard in March. So we had like 2 months to prepare and like say yes or no. And then, yeah, from there, we all were on the same flight going there, except for there were maybe like a handful that were coming from other areas. But yeah, we got there and it was just one of the best experiences of my life. It was my first time being abroad. So that was really special to me just to like see a new space and culture. But yeah, no, it was really fun. I recommend it to everyone.
Yeah. And the application process is pretty easy. It's like only like 2 essays long, and like the fact that it's 2 essays long and to then go on a month trip, that's like a pretty amazing experience. And for the athletic department, you don't only just have to go on the Paris trip, which was offered last time. You can go basically on any study abroad trip that's offered. It's just if you want to go specifically with other athletes that it's offered, and it's pretty exclusively to athletes. You can go on that one, which is the one that we all decided to do. So it just depends on you and your schedule and what you can do. And also, you can only apply during your time at the university. So if you obviously if you graduate, you cannot apply anymore. So sometimes if your coach maybe is not okay with you missing for the summer, depending on your schedule, maybe if you're taking a 5th year, you do your study abroad during that time, and it's still part of the athletic department. So it's something to think about and kind of plan your schedule around. I know it's probably not offered this year due to probably lack of funding and just coronavirus in general. But moving on to question number two.
Well,
Uh,
and I was just gonna say it's kind of nice. The one that we chose, that's an all athlete trip, was in May. So it was kind of nice because that's when a lot of people's seasons are over. Like I know for swimming and diving, soccer, wrestling, there's a lot of opportunities.
yeah. Okay, so next we'll describe a typical day in the classroom. Um,
Oh
Al-
man. Honestly, I there was no typical day. I would say, well, first of all, Carl, our professor, is amazing. He was so cool, so nice, accommodating. I think everybody in the class developed a great relationship with him by the end of it. Um, but no, so I would say usually we would have about an hour of classroom time, and that didn't start until like 9:30 or 10, which was nice. You can sleep in. But we would have about an hour of in class time, and then we would usually go on an excursion. So we would go on the metro, and he would take us to different areas of Paris just to experience different cultures. And, you know, we went to a market one day and then toured like a garden the next. And so there was never just like a full day in the classroom, like him lecturing us for hours. So.
And like even like during the day, because like our class was typically from like 11 to 1ish. So like if we were in class in the beginning, we could then go for lunch. We could go anywhere around the area and go get our own food. It wasn't like whatever the like IAP office area had. It was just you could go out and get whatever you wanted.
Yeah. And the classroom was in a great area
Yeah,
too. So we would have like an hour for lunch in the middle, and like I would go, at least I made it my goal to like go to a new restaurant every day type of thing, and like
yeah.
or a new cafe, and just walk around. And so there's like a lot to even just experience surrounding the classroom.
And we something that's also like considered too, which was unique to the program, is that like we could like wake up and then we would metro to class, and it was kind of a unique experience. You know, it's not like biking to class or walking there. It's like we could get up and use the passes that they gave us to go and metro to class. And what's nice, since we had the unlimited passes, we could kind of metro, like if after class we could then go wherever we wanted. So if that was to the Louvre after class or to the Eiffel Tower or any of that, um,
Mm-hmm.
that was kind of a nice thing to do after class.
Right, right. And there was, I remember one time, part of the class curriculum, we went on a full day field trip to Chartres, and it's like a smaller town, probably 45 minutes from Paris, I would say. And that was really exciting too, because besides like the weekends, you don't get out of just the Paris area as much, just because there's so much to see in Paris as well. But it was just cool to see another area of France too.
Yeah, I would definitely agree on that. Okay, so now we'll move on to favorite memory of the trip.
Oh,
Allie, what favorite memory? If you can't go, I can always go first, but
I need to think about it a little bit. There's a lot. I'm trying to go through it all in my head. Oh, okay. I have one because I think you're gonna steal it, so I'm gonna go first. Um, I would have to say it was my last day in Paris, and I don't even know. Oh yeah, we had our final exam, which was the easiest thing in the world. It's okay, and
not bad.
we had our final exam, and then we just kind of, I don't remember really the in between during the day, but I remember like right before dinner, it was probably all of us, and we went to a piano bar in the center of Paris, and it was just it was just so fun, and it was so wholesome. And then afterwards we went to a Moroccan restaurant with the whole class and the professor and the study abroad liaisons,
Yeah.
and it was just, we just had a blast, and we were just talking about all of our experiences, and yeah, it was very nostalgic.
Yeah. And even the boat trip that we went on, that boat tour at the end of the trip, we went around, and it was kind of cool to like see everything that we saw as like a final like go around of everything, like everything we see, and like we kind of knew the area a lot. So it was like kind of cool just like sit on the boat at night, like see the Eiffel Tower light up and like go through everything. So that was really cool. But also I think besides that memory, I think when we went to Brussels one weekend, that was really fun to like go on a weekend and kind of just see the town and the area. That was really cool. Um, like something you weird. One night we randomly stayed. I had to last minute book a hotel, and it ended up being a train hostel, and it much of it because it was like $50, and I was like, oh, that's a pretty good deal. Like we'll just stay there. And we ended up having to stay like physically in a train in a like apartment, and it was something really unique and weird, but I mean something I'll definitely remember, and I don't know, it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, that was any other weird or cool memories that we had?
Trying to think. We went to Versailles. That was definitely amazing to see. It's just so beautiful. Um, I don't know, just honestly the bonds too that you create with your classmates and the people there is just unforgettable. Like you can't really get that or make that bond anywhere else. And so I think that was really exciting, just being able to this experience this whole new country with people that you don't even know too. So
Yeah, I would, and like, yeah, it was cool to meet a lot of different athletes because sometimes like being like I know the swim team can be it's like you can really only hang out with them just because of our practice schedules and that. So it was really nice to kind of open up and meet a lot of different athletes and kind of like talk about their own experiences and stuff.
mhm.
Oh, Patty's question. The trip is a month long or 3.5.
Right. And for me and for a bunch of other people too, right? Like after a class, we ended up just staying in Europe and going other places. So I ended up going to Mykonos, Greece. Other people went to Barcelona. Ben, you went to Switzerland.
Yeah.
So,
So yeah, like after the class ended, we stayed for like a weekend longer before we flew back and then go to uh back home.
sorry. Sorry, some of my friends that I made in Paris are making me laugh right now in the comments. Okay, go on, Ben.
But yes, and why should other student athletes take part in the study abroad experience?
Um, Well, for one, it was just amazing and so much fun because of all the reasons I said. But also, I mean, athletes, it's very rare, and a lot of other schools don't do this, that athletes are able and allowed to go abroad. Like, obviously, it's very hard in season, but even when you're not in season and still in school, like, you still have to stay and train. And so, this is just like a great opportunity where, like, athletics wants you to go on this trip. They want you to experience these things, and so you should really take advantage of that and get yourself out there.
Yeah, I would agree. And also I think it's something to like be able to like appreciate other cultures and like really embrace other cultures and kind of figure that out. And I think like you said, it's something that we normally don't get to experience a lot. So I think it's something really unique to be able to do. Um, but also I think like even just like using the metro and like trying to figure out how to use the signs and something that's not in English and kind of like crossing those like cultural barriers and even just like language barriers. Like I remember being in a like an Uber one time, and I remember like they were trying to find me and they were calling me, and it was like really hard to figure out how to like say I'm on this street. But that was a whole other kind of tasking, and I think it's something really good to kind of experience in that sense and kind of be in that uncomfortable situation, even though Paris necessarily is not that uncomfortable and that's crazily unique, but I think it's something cool to be a part of in that sense.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Exactly. So now we will open up to questions from people who are on the Instagram live. Anybody got any questions about broad culture?
Mad Whack said, "Do you speak French, Allie?" I dabble. um, I tried to speak French there because I learned it throughout high school, but didn't work out so well. Yeah.
Cami mentioned that we went to a homeless shelter. That was fun and
Fun
interesting.
is the wrong word for
Fun
that.
to see like other cultures in that sense, in that kind of way. Um, any other questions that we got? Are you gonna prove you speak French?
I'm bonjour, Stefan. um, I'm trying to think anything else. Oh, I have a question for you, Ben.
Oh,
Um, what were like some of the cultural obstacles you experienced, like being in Europe and being in a different country?
um, I think the cultural obstacles I experienced was definitely language barriers because I've never spoken French. I never did anything French. I took Latin in high school, which is unique. I what I decided to take, but so I had no idea about French, and so that was something really unique to me. But also, I think I remember like a lot of people would say like, "Oh, French people can be like mean," and there was all these stereotypes facing that, and I like chose not to really think about those, and I realized like everyone was really nice and really accepting of us, and it was really easy to like come in and be there for a long time and kind of embrace the culture in that sense.
Yeah.
Um, I,
Any other questions?
yeah, any other questions that we got?
I'm looking
I'm
back a bit.
say I can't really speak Latin. I can only read. It took 5 years.
Any cool experiences in Belgium other than your train story?
Um,
Cami Murtha is asking.
when we were there in Belgium,
Belgium was really cool. I remember it, even though I was really sick that weekend actually. But
the
we
waffles were really good.
the waffles were really good, and we ended up going there. We didn't know this at the time during the Pride Parade.
Oh yeah, true.
And that was really, really cool to see. Like the amount of people that were in Brussels, like on the streets and just, you know, parading, marching. But
Especially
it was just a
like
cool
globally
experience to see
recognized.
everything.
And we just randomly decided to go there that weekend because that was only a 4 hour bus ride. So
Right.
I it was just something to add to the trip.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
But we'll end on closing it up a bit. But
We'll,
basically
we'll end on closing it up a bit.
we'll end on closing it up a bit. Basically, you can email Patty if you have any further questions. So about the study abroad experience or anything we didn't answer, if you came on late or anything related to that, you can always email her. But yeah, I think we really enjoyed our experience, and I think anyone that you can talk to about that went on that trip, the 25 people that are went on the trip, you can talk to any of them, and they'll say it was a great experience. They wouldn't regret it, and I think it's something really unique. And I know that athletes, it's really hard to find the time to be able to travel and even just like meet other people outside of your sport or any of that. And I think it's something that you should utilize within that athletic department because college is only 4 years or 5, depending on your the college. But you should really try to utilize it as much as you can, and I think it's really important. Also, Patty put in her email to those who have further questions. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Thank you, Ben.
Any other closing thoughts that you have? I don't know.
No, I mean, I just totally agree with all of them. Like, just, I can't advise it enough. Like, take the opportunity and go. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.